Hello everybody, this is quixQuery, and today we are here for a bit of a channel update as well as a Modpack update, all kind of in the same thing. And so some of you who are fans of the quixCraft server, um, things have been a little weird recently. We haven't gotten very many videos out, and I have a reason why. And so I guess we're just going to start off with that before we get into the juicy mod pack information, because there is some good stuff as far as that goes. I've been working a lot on the quest book. You can see we got a bunch of stuff right here. Mystical agriculture stuff all planned out, a bunch of different, cool stuff. And so we will get to that eventually, but for the moment, I want to talk about what has happened to the quixCraft server. The quixCraft server is no more, and a lot of us that are part of the community are not entirely sure why. C4, the administrator, just decided that just kind of shut it down and left us here with nothing. And so he left the Discord and all this other stuff. Like, we pretty much have no communication with him. So yeah, exciting stuff. But so that's why quixCraft has pretty much not been released recently. And so I've also been putting a lot of time into the mod pack here recently as well, and so that was why they were kind of slowing down a little bit before. But yeah, and so quixCraft is the community. We're all still there in the Discord and everything, and so we honestly have no idea what the plans are. I was waiting to see if there's going to be something that would potentially play out, but no one has really said much so far, other than the fact that we were all sad to see C4 go. C4 was great. Honestly, probably a better server admin than most of us could have asked for, and he put up with a lot from all of us. And so, but anyway, and so onto the mod pack. The mod pack is the next, I guess, big thing. And so as far as the channel goes, yes, things are still coming along. However, I think the idea right here is, and you can see we got our dire crafting table right there. Okay, so mod pack stuff. I'm hoping that within a month I will be able to put out a public beta. And now, what does the public beta mean? The public beta, things will not be complete yet. They won't be in their final form. The mod pack will all be there. All of the basic gameplay and stuff, but there will still be some balancing and stuff that I want to have happen, because I know that with mystical agriculture and stuff like that, balance can go awire pretty quickly. Some things can end up being super overpowered, and other things can end up being completely laid by the wayside. And I want to try and avoid that as much as possible. But I know there are some things like the golden lassos from extra utilities that can't necessarily be do the same thing as, say, the summoning pendulum from random things, which is a significantly better version, essentially. You can do hostiles and friendly mobs, and you can hold up to 5 in the summoning pendulum versus the... Anyway, there are a lot of reasons. Things that... So balance will still have to be happening. Along with just any kinds of kinks and stuff, I want to get sorted out. And that's what the beta is for, is so everyone can give me some feedback and say, hey, this needs fixing, it's not good enough, or like, hey, there's a bug here, and I'll see what I can do to see if I can fix the bug, or and other stuff like that. And as part of that, the best place to submit those is on the Discord. There is a link down in the description below. You should definitely check it out. And so that's where we got some sneak peeks and stuff on there, as well as all of the update videos, and some other bits and pieces are going to be posted to the Discord there. And as well, that is the best place to turn in suggestions, bugs, or anything once the open beta releases. And so I'm planning on making that the hub of a lot of that. And so, but along with the mod pack, I'm hoping to potentially do some more streaming here sometime soon. What kind of streaming? Will be like streaming the mod pack, not the creation of the mod pack. Mostly some playtesting though. So like we can figure out a lot of the different changes and stuff and make sure they're in balance and all of this other stuff. That's the idea for the streams. We can play test stuff. I can get some immediate feedback and some other stuff from all of you guys. And so I am thinking that is going to happen sometime in the near future. However, the beta comes first. The open beta will be coming first. I'm planning on doing that through the Curse launcher, and I will, I'll be figuring all of the back-end stuff out. I still got a lot of work to do before the beta is released, but it should, I'm hoping, be ready within a month. Now, that said, how is the pack going? Okay, so we got quests and stuff. Now the quests are named and all this other stuff. However, the thing about all of these quests, okay, actually not that one, but the thing about all these quests is they don't have descriptions or quests actually, tasks to do as part of the quest yet. So, yeah, still got a ways to go as far as that goes. But we have all the names, we have the organization set out. And I want to kind of go over how the progression is going to work. See, now, in order to do, the idea is that we'll start kind of with actual additions with the Atomic Reconstructor and the Empower, right? Pretty simple. Now, Mystical Agriculture is kind of the successor to that. In order to do all of the Mystical Agriculture stuff, if we look at Mystical, we need to have an Empower up and running in order to make the seeds. So say like Inferium, okay, not Inferium seeds, that's the wrong example. Stone seeds, need to use the Empower. Nether Quartz seeds, Empower. Diamond seeds, definitely the Empower. And so those are all require the Empower, right? Okay, so the next step after Mystical Agriculture with, and as a side note, I do want to kind of start phasing in chickens and woot kind of around that phase. The phase you're with like Mystical Agriculture and stuff. After that, you want to start heading into Mechanism. And Mechanism, in order to do pretty much anything in Mechanism, you need steel, and in order to make steel, you need a metallurgic infuser. Mechanism has a lot of machines. Metallurgic infuser, there we are. And so what I've done to make it sure that the progression stays the same is we have included some iron essence right there, as well as an infusion crystal, in order to make our metallurgic infuser, because, infusion, infuser, and, the iron essence is just fine. I don't know. And so we've included the essence right there, and some osmium, which we will start having to use for the Mechanism machines and stuff like that. I'm going to tone down some of the osmium ore spawning. I want it to be a little more valuable. But anyway, we're getting there. And so now there's a whole series of a bunch of stuff in Mechanism. The big part of Mechanism, and this is the main Mechanism tree, After we get steel, we can make an enrichment chamber, and that opens up a lot of possibilities. And so the big quest line in Mechanism is getting the ore processing up to the next level. That's a lot of what the mod is based around, is being able to get 5 times ore processing. And so, you know, sure, they have like plastic and the atomic disassembler. They have a lot of good stuff in Mechanism, and the more I play around with the mod, the more I'm amazed by how much cool stuff there is in it. And so, anyway, pretty cool. And so we got a bunch of stuff right there. And so in order to get the Project E stuff, which is the last tier of stuff, it's the completely end game stuff, we're forcing it all the way to the end game, and I'll show you how. Project E, in order to do anything in the mod, you need a Philosopher's Stone, and the Philosopher's Stone, obviously these recipes will be removed, but this is the Philosopher's Stone recipe. And it kind of is a little daunting at first glance, but we'll get to. A lot of these things aren't necessarily the biggest things in the world, like say this Klein bottle from Extra Utilities is 2 ender pearls in a glass bottle, and so, you know, a lot of these aren't actually all that bad to come across, but we do have right here this osmium crystal, and in order to obtain an osmium crystal, we have to have the 5 times ore processing. That's one of the parts of it, and so that is kind of how I have forced this into the late game. I'm just kind of like forcing the progression, making sure that it is, you know, the proper progression that I want to have. And so and this recipe isn't necessarily what I want it to be in the end. It will get changed probably a couple different times, and so, but we have stuff like octuple compressed cobblestone and netherrack. Octuple compressed netherrack is actually the equivalent of 1 nether star, thanks to the nethercore mod. Thank you. Smelt the netherrack, and you get smelt an octuple compressed netherrack, and you get a nether star. So that's pretty cool there. Master infusion crystal, again, that's a bunch of supremium, which is the highest tier essence there. And so, yes, we have pushed Project E in. We have forced it into the late game, required it to be, yeah. Anyway, and so I'm actually a little worried that it'll be harder to progress than I was hoping. But we'll just, I still have a little ways to go before the beta is released, and so I'll continually be thinking about all of that, and figuring out how that is supposed to work. We have a bunch of utilities and stuff in here, like we're going to talk about the hang glider, the sleeping bag, weatherproof blocks, the different types of crafters. We got our mechanical user, and so all of your just like basic utilities, like your online detector, chat detector, your igniter, your experience solidifier, your magnet, your lawnmower. Yeah. Okay, don't judge. I wanted a lawnmower in the pack. So stuff like that. And so the idea is that you will be using different mods, experimenting with different mods, and an odd sort of progression in order to progress through stuff. And so instead of just being able to fall right back on your classics like Ender.io, Extra Utilities 2, and okay, yes, Extra Utilities 2 is in the pack, but if we look at Extra Utilities 2, we can see that there isn't even an angel ring in sight, let alone a quantum quarry or a lot of the other stuff. We just have some of the nice stuff that it adds, like mechanical users, mechanical miners, the spikes, angel blocks, and, you know, stuff like that that doesn't necessarily completely ruin game progression. And so you can't necessarily fall back on the things that you've always gone to in order to do stuff. You have to try out something new. That's the idea of the pack. You have to try out some different mods. Some of my favorites, actually Additions, Mechanism, and Equivalent Exchange. I haven't actually played around with Equivalent Exchange 2 now that I've started to think about it. I know very little about the mod. Maybe it's just because it's been forever since I played it, since I had it in a pack I played. But anyway, so yes, things are going great. Just thought I would give you a bit of a channel update. And so I am looking for a series to start that will be hopefully longer than 25 episodes, because currently that is about our limit. None of our series have lasted much longer than have gone to 25 episodes, let alone been longer than that. And so that's something I'm looking for. We're going to start something that is going to be consistent. We're going to do it, and I'm hoping to potentially release an episode of it at least every week. At least, occasionally if something goes odd, I'm hoping to, as a minimum, get out at least one a week. And so we will see how things go. I'll hope to get this pack beta out to everyone when it is ready, hopefully again within the next month. The Discord link for the mod pack is down in the description below. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.